If you love to make cards as much as I do, you're always looking for something new and different to do, right? Well, how about something like this? Check these cards out. They're little windows filled with threads, metallic threads of all different colors. And you know what? What they are, they're leftover threads, just remnants, just bits and pieces. Actually, they're a bag o' bits. Seriously, they're a bag o' bits. They're just remnants of beautiful threads that come in a bag that nobody knows what to do with except for make unusual and unique things out of them. And this is my favorite way of using them. So here's how I made this beautiful little window. So here's what I did. I got some of this. It is basically heat and bond or something similar to that. It's an adhesive that you have to iron things to make them adhesive again, if that makes any sense. It's basically, it comes in a roll, it comes in smaller sizes, but I like to have a roll because you never know what you're going to do with it. So I just cut out a square about this big. And what I'm going to do is first of all create my design. I'm going to do another heart because I love the heart so much. So I'm just going to take a card. This is a pre-made, pre-folded card. And I'm going to fold, I already folded it in half, but I'm going to work from the inside of the card. And I'm just going to draw with a pencil a heart design on the inside. And I like those kind of funky shaped hearts, just like that, okay? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out using an X-Acto knife. You could use a pair of scissors, but actually an X-Acto knife works a little bit better. And I'm just going to use the pencil as my guide and cut just to the inside of my design because I'm going to use the rest of it as a place to adhere or to glue my little window, if you will, to. Okay, I'm just going to pop this out. Okay, just like that. Now this is going to become my pattern. Okay, there we go. There's the beginning of my window. Now, before I do anything else, I am going to create a background, and I really loved the fleur-de-lis background on the heart card. So I'm just going to take this fleur-de-lis stamp and a little bit of gold and do my background up and just kind of all over. Close my card. And I just want this to be kind of this obscure background on my card. And you can do as many layers or as many different colors as you like. This just gives it a little bit of dimension. And if you wanted to, on some of my cards, I even took the same color of ink and just kind of did the edge a little bit just to give it some dimension. Okay, just like that. Okay, now I'm going to set this card aside and I'm going to create the window. And this is my bag of bits right here. Okay, let me put this away. Don't want this to dry out. Okay, this is my bag of bits. And you never know what color you're going to get in your bag of bits. So if there's certain colors that you like or don't like, you know, you can pull them out. But quite frankly, you know, I really don't care. I kind of like them all. So I've taken my little adhesive here, my heat and bond, and I also have some parchment paper. And I folded this in half and I put a little pin between it because I'm going to use this to iron all of my bits onto the heat and bond. So it's a little tricky, but basically I'm just going to put this inside just like this. Kind of use that to hold it down a little bit and take some of my bits. There's no rhyme or reason to this. I really love the blue and gold color that happens to be in here. And there's some green and there's some red and there's purple and there's all kinds of colors, but I'm just going to do whatever works here. A little bit of green. You can kind of maneuver it around a little bit. You can make it as dense or as thin as you like. So I'm just going to kind of smush all my colors together. Make a little bit of a pile here. And then I'm going to pull the parchment paper over it. So I'm going to end up with something like this. And I have a nice hot iron here. Now, I really suggest if you don't have what I have, a craft iron, which really is an iron that I used to use all the time, but the knob broke, so it's always hot. Really be careful when using your really good iron for craft projects. But this is something that I specifically use for crafting all the time because it kind of gets gooey and adhesive-y and stuff like that. So what this is doing with the heat and bond, that material that's got the adhesive already on it, it's adhering all of those metallic threads to the paper. And because it's hot and it's kind of melting the adhesive to it, you have to let it dry for a second before you peel it apart because otherwise it gets all gooey. So I'm just going to let that cool off for just a second. Ooh, look, I love it, love it, love it. There. Now what I've done is I've created my own fabric, if you will, my own metallic thread fabric, and I'm going to use my pattern to cut it out. But first, I'm going to do this. Because it's an adhesive, this is the cool part about it. It'll peel right off your paper. Look at that. Isn't that neat? So now I can cut this virtually into any shape I want. So I'm going to cut out my heart. Now, one thing I need to do before I do this, I want to make sure I know which way my heart is shaped. It's going to be this way. So I'm going to lay it there. And I want to cut it out slightly bigger because I want to use the edge to glue to the inside of my card. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be a little bit bigger. There we go. Now I have my little heart pattern, like this, and I can glue this. And you might find that as you cut it, you know, because of all of your bag of bits, threads are different sizes, some are small and some are large, you know, some of them might fall off, no big deal, really, don't worry about it. So now with the inside, I'm just going to take a little bit of glue, use some tacky glue. I wouldn't use a heat gun, and the reason why is because the material that I've just used is activated by heat. So your glue gun may in fact remelt it, and you don't want to do that. So here's my heart. I just put it back on the inside, just like that. Tap it down, let it dry, and voila, you have an awesome looking card that nobody else has. It's one of a kind, it's unique, and your friends are gonna go, ah, Terri, you're amazing! And you know what? You are amazing. Have fun.